What's up, guys? Vital Syntax here, and I have another Battlefield 4 related topic to discuss in regards to squads, which have changed quite a bit over the past couple generations of Battlefield games. You had the 6-man squads, and then they moved that to the 4-man squads to coincide with the 4 classes that were available with Bad Company and Battlefield 3. Now, a lot of people have been saying that they should go back to a 6-man squad and maybe bring back some of the classes they had in, for example, Battlefield 2, and some people want the classes to go back to how they were in Bad Company 2 as well. And I'm up to any of those changes as long as it's ultimately balanced in the end. As it sits right now, and I feel like in Battlefield 4, the 4-man squads are fine if there's 4 classes, but there are some class balancing issues, which I've talked about numerous times in other videos. But I think one of the issues that would arise if you increase the size of a squad is being able to spawn on players while they're in combat, which is already a problem in Battlefield 3, and I think is something that needs to be fixed. Because in Battlefield 3, you can have a squad mate that's in the middle of combat, and you can spawn on him, and you can help him shoot whoever is shooting at him. And I think that's kind of a broken mechanic, because let's say you're about to kill somebody, or you even do kill somebody, as long as that guy, as long as one of his squad mates spawned on him before you finished him off, then you have to shoot another person, and then you have to shoot another person, and then you have to shoot another person if they keep spawning on him. And that's just kind of a stupid and broken game mechanic, and it's always gotten me frustrated. And it also goes the other way around. There's been many times where you spawn on a squad mate who's in the middle of combat, and you end up getting killed instantly because you spawned in the middle of a gunfight, and you weren't prepared for some reason. So I think they should implement the same thing that they had in Medal of Honor Warfighter, whereas if you're shooting your gun at an enemy, or an enemy shooting at you, squad mates shouldn't be able to spawn on you, and they should be like a timer that kind of tells them that they're in the middle of combat and you can't spawn on them until they're outside of combat and not being shot at or not shooting at somebody else. And also, when you increase the size of squads, specifically if they keep the class balance like they had in Battlefield 3, which I'm hoping they don't, the medic res trains is going to be a huge issue. It was an issue in Bad Company 2 as well, even though I think the medic class in that game was much more balanced with the LMGs. But being able to have 4 players that were all playing medic was also an issue. So maybe even limiting the number of classes per squad, although that can also cause issues. I think it kind of restricts the player's choice. If you're in a squad and there's already 2 people playing as assault, then you won't be able to choose assault, and that might not be the best gameplay mechanic, because it kind of restricts players' choices and stuff, and that's never really a good thing. But it's just an idea. Another big issue, or another big component of squads in Battlefield 3 has been specializations, which have also changed since Battlefield Bad Company 2, where they had your own personal specializations, where you can have magnum ammo or extra ammo, or increase the accuracy of your weapon, increase the amount of grenades you have, increase the amount of rockets you have. There were a couple different upgrades you could get, or specializations that you could get in Battlefield Bad Company 2, and then they moved those specializations to squad specializations, so you can get things like squad ammo for your entire squad. And I think the reason they did that is to kind of push people to play as a squad, because there's an advantage of it. Obviously, you can spawn on teammates, maybe they give them support, or spawn on them and repair their tank, or spawn on them and give them health and ammo and things like that, like you could in Bad Company 2. But you also have the incentive of, if you're in a squad with other players, you can maybe get more ammo because one of your squad mates is running squad ammo, or you could get more grenades because one of your squad mates is running a squad grenade. But then there's also issues with squad specializations that I don't think they ever really addressed in Battlefield 3 that could be fixed for Battlefield 4. Things like having overlapping specializations. So if somebody in your squad already has squad ammo, if you try and use squad ammo, maybe it just automatically switches to a different ammo perk or a different squad perk, or it tells you, somebody's already using this specialization, choose another one, or something along those lines. And I think also just the squad ammo specialization itself, if they once again keep the class balance like they did in Battlefield 3, the squad ammo I think is something that needs to go, because it makes the support class, which is already fairly underused and underpowered, especially compared to the assault class in Battlefield 3. I think having extra ammo and maybe even having extra rockets and stuff makes the support class less useful. I mean, if you're playing as the assault class in Battlefield 3 and you run squad ammo, honestly, you're never really going to run out of ammo unless you get 10-15 kills in a life, which most players aren't going to be getting before they're getting killed or something along those lines, and respawning and getting more ammo. Because you spawn with like almost 300 rounds with a 30-round magazine assault rifle. So I think maybe the squad ammo perk itself maybe should just be removed. That way, players have to rely on a support class more that can drop them ammo and resupply them. And then the other thing I think would be really cool to bring into Battlefield 4 in relations to squad is like squad leader roles. I mean, right now you can have a squad leader, and in some game modes, I think in hardcore, you can only spawn on the squad leader. And that's kind of a cool game mechanic itself, but I do like the idea that you can spawn on any of your squad mates. I don't really like just having one squad leader, but I do think it'd be cool if the squad leader had more option and more tools at his disposal. For example, being able to communicate with other squads. So right now, as it says in Battlefield 3, there's no voice over IP or voice communications for the PC platform. There is for the console platforms, but I think most PC players are using something like Ventrilo, Mumble, or TeamSpeak to communicate with their players that they're playing with. But I do think an in-game voice over IP would immensely improve the amount of teamwork and enjoyability that players that are playing by themselves would be able to experience. Obviously, you need to be able to turn voice over IP off, but I also think they need to be able to have some more options. Things like being able to communicate with your squad, being able to communicate with other squad leaders, so maybe you could have different voice channels where you could switch between them like you do in, for example, Arma or Daisy or something along those lines, where you can switch between talking to people in your squad, talking to other squad leaders, talking to just your friends, or even doing like a proximity chat. That way you could talk to just players that are around you. Maybe you're right next to a medic and you need some health. Instead of just trying to press Q and ask him for health, you could actually do a proximity chat, and your character's lips would move like they do in Arma, and you would actually hear that character, the guy talking, saying, hey, can I have some ammo, or something along those lines. I think that would promote a lot more teamwork and a lot more squad work. And also maybe another idea that the squad leaders could implement is like squad commands. Now in Battlefield 3 you can do squad commands, kind of. You can like highlight objectives and tell your squad to go there. But I think it'd be cool if you press maybe the M key. It would enlarge your map like it does right now in Battlefield 3, but when you enlarge the map, you'd be able to use your mouse cursor and click on areas of the map, maybe like right click and set waypoints or objectives or markers or something like that. You could say go attack this point, go attack that point, and it would show up on the player's screens. It would say this is the squad's objective right now is to go and take A, or go take B, or go blow up this position, or go get a tank from the base and bring it back here, or something along those lines, allowing the squad leader themselves to kind of redirect the squad and kind of give them directions. That way, if you're not using voice over IP, or if you're not talking with a person in like TeamSpeak or something, you can still kind of communicate where the squad should be playing as a team. So those are just some ideas of things that they could improve on for the squads for Battlefield 4. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like the squad sizes, or if you think it should go back up to 6 or even more. What you guys think about not being able to spawn on teammates or squad mates while they're in the middle of combat. Let me know what you think about these specializations. Maybe some ideas of specializations you think should be added. Things like some of the ones they had in Bad Company 2 were increased heal rate or increased heal radius for the med pack. And also let me know what you guys think about the voice over IP options and how you think that might work out. But anyway, thanks for enjoying the video, or thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.